On to the headlines. Tracing the current. Electricity supply chains focus on sustainability and transparency. Seafood supply chains under scrutiny. The drive for greater transparency. Transparent algorithms. Traceability in AI systems.
Hello and welcome to Traceability TV News, the source of the latest updates on global traceability and safety concerns. I'm your host, Miriam Munyoki. As the global push for cleaner and more transparent energy intensifies, electricity providers are under growing pressure to ensure their supply chains are both sustainable and traceable. From renewable energy sources to the grid that powers our homes, stakeholders are demanding greater accountability in how electricity is generated, transmitted, and consumed.
The electricity supply chain is undergoing a major transformation as governments, consumers, and investors call for more sustainable and transparent energy systems. With increasing regulatory scrutiny and ambitious carbon reduction goals, power providers are investing in advanced tracking technologies to monitor energy sources in real time. Digital platforms and blockchain-based solutions are now being used to verify whether electricity comes from renewable sources like solar, wind, or hydro, ensuring that consumers can make informed choices about their energy consumption. One of the biggest challenges in electricity traceability lies in the complexity of the grid. Unlike physical products, electricity is difficult to tag and track once it enters the network. However, energy certification systems such as renewable energy certificates and guarantees of origin are helping bridge this gap. These mechanisms allow consumers and businesses to track their electricity back to its source, promoting a more transparent and accountable supply chain. As the demand for sustainability grows, major energy companies are also stepping up efforts to improve reporting and compliance with environmental standards. With new policies emerging, such as the European Union's Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive (CSRD) and global carbon tracking initiatives, electricity providers must adapt or risk falling behind. Ronald Reagan, Traceability TV.
Artificial intelligence, the powerhouse shaping industries. From healthcare to finance, it's making our lives smarter, faster, and more efficient. But as AI becomes more pervasive, a critical question looms. Can we trust the algorithms running the show? Today, we explore how traceability systems are stepping in to bring transparency to AI, ensuring accountability in decision-making processes. From tackling algorithmic bias to verifying data origins, traceability is becoming the key to ethical AI. But will this transparency come at the cost of innovation? Let's turn to our reporter for an in-depth look.
Artificial intelligence is transforming the world, but its rise has also sparked growing concerns about bias, fairness, and accountability. Traceability in AI systems seeks to address these issues by shedding light on how algorithms are built, trained, and deployed. Through tools like data provenance, tracking, and audit trails, organizations can trace the lineage of their AI models, ensuring that data inputs are unbiased and processes remain ethical. Industries are already seeing the benefits. In healthcare, AI systems used for diagnosing diseases now rely on traceability to verify that training datasets are inclusive and diverse, minimizing risks of skewed results. Similarly, financial institutions are adopting traceability to audit algorithmic decisions, ensuring compliance with regulatory standards while addressing concerns over discriminatory practices in loan approval or credit scoring. Despite these advancements, the challenges are significant. Implementing traceability in AI systems requires balancing transparency with the need to protect intellectual property and sensitive data. Moreover, experts caution that without global standards, traceability efforts could become fragmented, undermining their impact. Still, with increasing demand for ethical and accountable AI, traceability is carving a vital role in ensuring that these powerful systems work for everyone and not just a select few. Ronald Reagan, Traceability TV.
We're now taking a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more news updates after the break. June is already shaping up to be a powerful month of awareness, action, and reflection across the globe. Just a few days ago, people everywhere marked World Environment Day on June 5th, coming together to clean up, plant trees, and push for climate restoration under the theme Restore Our Earth. Now, communities are observing Mental Health Awareness Month, holding open conversations, offering support, and reminding us all to prioritize emotional well-being. Meanwhile, preparations are underway for the World Day Against Child Labour on June 12th, bringing global attention to the need for safe, educated, and protected childhoods. And toward the end of the month, the world will be observing the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking on June 26th, with campaigns focused on prevention, recovery, and support. June 2025 is in full swing, and from the environment to mental health, and from children's rights to public safety, the world is not just watching, it's acting. And Traceability TV will be walking you through it all, story by story, event by event. So don't miss a moment. Subscribe now and stay informed all month long. Diving into the murky waters of the global seafood industry, a $160 billion market that feeds over 3 billion people worldwide. But beneath the surface lies a troubling reality. Studies reveal that up to 20% of seafood is mislabeled, with illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing accounting for nearly $36 billion in losses annually. This not only threatens marine ecosystems, but also exploits vulnerable workers in shadowy supply chains. The call for transparency and traceability in seafood has never been louder. So, how are these challenges being addressed, and what does it mean for the fish on your plate? Our reporter takes a closer look.
The seafood industry is vast and complex, spanning oceans and borders, but this very complexity has allowed issues like fraud, overfishing, and labor exploitation to fester. Traceability systems are being hailed as the solution to these problems. By implementing digital tagging technologies, stakeholders can track seafood from the point of catch to the consumer's plate. This not only ensures authenticity, but also helps enforce sustainable fishing practices. However, many small fisheries, particularly in developing countries, lack the resources to adopt these systems. Critics also point out that without global enforcement, gaps in the supply chain will persist. Despite this, progress is being made. Initiatives like the EU's Catch Certification Scheme and the US Seafood Import Monitoring Program are setting benchmarks for accountability. If adopted globally, these measures could safeguard the future of the industry while protecting both marine life and human rights. Rinta Luther, Traceability TV.
Shoes. They're more than just fashion. They're a global industry worth billions. But beneath the shine of polished leather and slick designs lies a troubling history of questionable labor practices and environmental harm. However, in the modern world, that narrative is shifting as shoe manufacturers embrace ethical practices powered by traceability systems.
The shoe industry, long criticized for its resilience on exploitative labor and unsustainable materials, is undergoing a transformation. At the heart of its shift are traceability systems that provide transparency from the factory floor to the retail shelf. Using QR codes and blockchain technology, brands are now able to map their supply chains, ensuring that the leather, rubber, and other materials come from ethical sources while holding suppliers accountable. By partnering with traceability organizations, they are guaranteeing that their production processes comply with international labor standards and environmental regulations. For instance, recycled materials are being tracked to certify their origin, and fair wage policies are being monitored in real time. These changes are resonating with consumers who increasingly demand proof of ethical sourcing before making purchases. Regis Regina, Traceability TV.
Welcome to Visibility Sports News. I'm your host, Rikan. Volleyball, a sport of power, precision, and teamwork, has risen from humble beginnings to become a global sensation. From grassroots leagues to the glitz of Olympic competition, volleyball's journey is one of innovation, dedication, and an unwavering passion for the game.
In 1895, William G. Morgan, a physical education instructor in Massachusetts, set to create a new game combining elements of tennis, handball, and basketball. Initially named Mintonette, the game was designed as a less physically demanding alternative to basketball, featuring a net and a ball in place of a court and hoops. Its simple rules and low-cost setup made it an instant success, quickly spreading across the United States and beyond. By the mid-20th century, volleyball had undergone significant evolution. In 1964, the sport was introduced as an official Olympic event at the Tokyo Games, marking a pivotal moment in its global rise. Today, volleyball is a fixture in international sporting events, including the Olympics and the FIVB Volleyball World Championship. Whether it's packed stadiums filled with passionate fans or informal beach games in coastal towns, volleyball continues to unite people across the globe. Accessible to all ages and backgrounds, volleyball continues to remain a unifying force, transcending borders and bringing people together in the spirit of healthy competition. Regis Regina, Traceability TV.
And that wraps up our news bulletin for the day. Stay tuned for an informative documentary on ensuring responsible seafood sourcing from ocean to plate. I've been your host, Miriam Munyoki, and this is Traceability TV. The ocean, a vast enigmatic world teeming with secrets. Beneath its surface, an empire of life flourishes, darting, gliding, weaving through unseen currents. From the delicate ripple of a shrimp's movement to the thunderous chase of a marlin, the ocean is a stage where survival is both an art and a war. And for centuries, humanity has cast its nets into these waters, drawn not just by necessity, but by the sheer luxury of the ocean's bounty. Lobsters, oysters, tuna and salmon, icons of indulgence, the centerpiece of celebrations, the promise of exquisite flavor on your plates. But have you ever stopped to ask, where does it all come from and at what cost? Fish, a cornerstone of global cuisine, a lifeline for billions. And yet, a resource so delicately balanced that one misstep could send entire ecosystems into collapse. Every year, nearly 90 million metric tons of fish are pulled from the sea, feeding an insatiable global demand. But not all catches are equal. Some are legal, some are not. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, known as IUU, drains the ocean of life, costing the world up to $23 billion annually. Governments set quotas, impose bans, and protect breeding grounds. Yet, the black market thrives, lurking in the shadows of supply chains. What is allowed, what is forbidden, and who ensures that the seafood on your plate isn't part of a silent crime against nature? This is where traceability becomes the guardian of the seas. Every fish, every haul, every journey, from ocean to plate, must be accounted for. Traceability safeguards against deception, the frontline defense against overfishing, human rights abuses, and environmental destruction. Without it, seafood could be the most mysterious item on your grocery list. Its origins are known, its impact immeasurable, but with it, we can demand transparency, responsibility, and a future where the ocean's legacy endures. Traceability is a matter of survival. For centuries, seafood has traveled from shore to market through a web of uncertainty. Labels can be falsified, origins can be disguised, and for consumers, the distance between ocean and plate has never been more obscure. Today, the technology exists to change that. Every fish can carry a digital fingerprint, a record of its journey from the moment it was caught to the moment it reaches a dinner plate. Blockchain, satellite monitoring, and DNA testing are revolutionizing the seafood industry, making it harder than ever for illegal operations to hide in the market depths of supply chains. With traceability, the seafood industry is evolving into something unprecedented, an ecosystem of accountability. Retailers, restaurants, and suppliers are beginning to demand proof, pushing for a future where transparency is a standard. Consumers, they hold the power in their choices. Knowing where your seafood comes from isn't just about preference, it's about responsibility. A simple decision at the grocery store can be a vote for sustainable oceans, for ethical labor, and for a future where the ocean's abundance is not just a memory. Ensuring responsibility requires precision from the very first step. Processors bear the responsibility of correctly identifying and labeling seafood, providing crucial information such as the date, quality, and origin of the catch. This is where GS1 global standards become indispensable. Every box of seafood is identified with an SSCC, Serial Shipping Container Code, and a JITIN, Global Trade Item Number, ensuring that its journey through the supply chain is meticulously documented. The pallet, it carries an SSCC and a GLN, a Global Location Number, pinpointing exactly where the fish was caught, where it was processed, and where it will be sold. These identifiers serve as an unbroken chain of trust, ensuring that the fish on your plate has a verified history, free from fraud, mislabeling, and exploitation. The journey of a fish is more than a voyage. It's a story of where it was caught, how it was handled, and who ensured its journey was just. Traceability is the bridge between the ocean and our tables, a link between the choices we make and the future we shape. The question is no longer just what we are eating, but whether we can trust the story it tells. In the end, the ocean does not belong to us. It is borrowed from the generations to come. The choices we make today will decide its fate. Will we choose knowledge over ignorance? Will we demand integrity over deception? The future of seafood is not just about what is caught, it's about what is traced, what is trusted, and what is protected. The ocean has given us its bounty. The question is, how will we give back?